What's up? What's up? We're here with another episode of BoomBox Weekly.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.
What's up, y'all? We are here with another episode of BoomBox Weekly. I am Gentel, Sharrie.
Omar Cook, BoomBox Weekly. We back in the building. Let's go. We got a dope guest for you. Let's go. What's up, man? How you doing?
Tommy Boy in the building.
I appreciate it. How y'all?
Yes, sir.
Good. Director, writer out here in Los Angeles, California. Talk about the projects that you're working on right now.
They're mainly based on my life.
Yeah.
Everything from my childhood to my relationship and to injustice and what had things that didn't happen throughout my life. So
Let's take that from the start, man. You know, you wear a couple hats here: writer, producer, director. How did you get into the creative mode of starting to do your own projects?
I even acted in a
Acted
couple of
too.
them. So,
Acting.
but no. So what happened was it started off as love.
Yeah.
You know, I went through a breakup, and it started off me just wanting to express my love for a person. So it started off as poems. I was just writing poems, and these poems started becoming like a visual in my head where I actually wanted to see it. So as I'm writing about my love for a certain young lady, I wanted to see it. So I called up a couple of my friends. I was like, "Hey, you think we can shoot this?" So I hired a couple of actors. We shot it. I didn't like the first one, so I reshot it. I did it again. But as I'm reshooting it, I wanted to add more to the story. It was like my story wasn't done. So I went through different phases where I was like, okay, I'm gonna write about this. This part is about love, but this part here, but another part is gonna be about me going back and forth with myself about what I could have done, what I could have done, what I didn't do.
Right.
Then I got to a point where I didn't know why the breakup happened. I was like, maybe it happened because of my childhood traumas.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go back, and the reason why I loved the way I loved, and the reason why I loved her hard is because I watched my mother get beat up. I watched my mother get cussed out and stuff like that, and I vowed to never do that. So I wanted to treat her with the utmost respect, and I loved her pretty hard. So I went from that. Then they just start transitioning onto more things and more trauma in my life. So I just wanted to just get it all out, and I'm not even done yet. I still got 2 more to do to write.
Yeah.
What message do you want the viewers to get out of it when you put it out?
No matter what you go through, you can still keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And through my story, I actually have raw footage of what actually happens to me. I actually paint out real life situations that actually happened. Yeah, and it was tough. It was a tough road. It wasn't easy. We're talking suicidal thoughts. We're talking, it gets there. It gets there not because of a breakup. It just gets there of what life, what life puts on you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a project that's a series that's out,
Right.
and it's based on your life.
Yeah.
You know, what was the events that led you to write it? You know, what was the inspiration behind it?
The breakup. Love. The inspiration was love. It started off as it was a poem called "Remembering Love," and the whole total project's called "Sid," Sincerely Yours, Darling, and it's actually named after her. The name Sid,
Right.
and I just added, but it started off as love, and then from there it just grew into something more. It grew into this is bigger than just love.
Right.
But this is maybe if you didn't understand me or whoever didn't understand me by coming out of my mouth, maybe if I show you exactly the best way I know how, maybe then you can get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, out of all the celebrities in the world, who would you love to interact with, and who inspires you with your work?
That's crazy because a lot of mine was has passed on, like people like Tupac. Cause I even got Tupac tatted on me. I got.
Oh, yeah, that's a dope
Lauren
tag.
Hill.
I appreciate
too.
it. It got Lauren
Yeah.
Hill.
Yup.
Well, Lauren Hill was she was the
Oh, dang, let
inspiration
me
for
see.
Ali,
Yeah.
Boomaye.
shoot.
You
Yeah,
know
so
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of them
That's a
are
dope tag.
a lot of them are on
Yeah.
me. Malcolm
And they
X.
look like the.
yeah.
They look like them.
So
Absolutely.
so like Pac was like a main one. Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X is probably like those three that I would like love to sit down
Yeah.
and pick their
Powerful.
brains. I kind of draw to people. Richard Pryor's another one.
Yeah.
I kind of draw to people who experience a great deal of pain. You know, somebody I can relate to. Marvin Gaye would be another one that I can relate to, who pours their pain into their art and still able to pick up one foot in front of the other and keep moving. So probably be those people.
Yeah, someone I just watched. The Bob Marley movie is out. The One Love. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
that.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay,
It was
okay.
good. It talked about his, some of his struggles, trying to talk about the healing music and peace
Right.
music in Jamaica while things were going crazy in the country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I got from that movie was he was able to use his creative abilities to influence the world in a major way. And now you have an opportunity to do the same.
Right.
What are there any filmmakers that you idolized, or not? I don't say idolized, but kind of tailor your game to.
I think somebody like John Singleton.
Yeah.
Like, I'm born in LA.
Yeah.
So like my first movie that I gravitated to, well, one of the first was The Wood, but another one was Boys in the Hood.
Right.
And I always felt like John told the story. So John was one, Spike Lee, of course. People like that, but for the most part, I would say like the creators of like The Color Purple and stuff like that. How like I find like the first Color Purple was so incredible. How they shot it was woman empowerment.
Yeah.
Even though how bad the world tried to break her, and she still overcame all that.
Right.
So like, yeah.
Did you see the new Color Purple?
I did. I'm so much a fan of the first one that like the second one was cool, but like that first one was just different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to compete with the
the
remake of
original,
any
right.
Yeah,
show.
and then like with music in it, it's like it's,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe more of like a spin-off kind of.
Right. I
guess.
think they based it off the play.
Oh,
It
yeah,
seems
like
it's
the
based
Broadway.
right. It's
Uh-huh.
like based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick little break, real quick, and give a shout to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. We are back with Tommy Boy in the building at BoomBox Weekly. Tommy, you have something that's coming out in the next few weeks called Traumatized. It's a personal story that you went through. If you would like to share it with our audience, it's wow. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah. No, within it, I touch on a situation where I was walking through a mall in Woodland Hills, Topanga Mall. I was walking through the mall, and I was only in the mall, believe only 5 minutes. My memory serves me. Well, as I was walking through this mall, I had stopped at a jewelry store in the middle of the mall, and I'm just looking at earrings for some odd reason. Something tells me to look at earrings. I'm looking at earrings, and I wasn't standing there for no more than about 2 minutes. And next thing I know, I hear a loud bang to my head, and like this white dude just hit me in the back of the head, and like I'm trying to move out the way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to gain conscious, but I'm dazed. But I'm not hitting the floor, but I'm dazed, and he's on me. He's not letting up. And next thing I know, like I'm falling, but I'm not. It's like almost like I'm falling. But I'm falling slowly because I can actually see him hitting me, but I can't move. I can see the punch, but it feels like air's hitting me. I'm not even feeling like the actual punch. Then finally, when I hit the ground, it was almost like I was just stuck, and he's on top of me, just hitting me. Then all of a sudden, I think security or something ran and got him off, and I just remember like trying to like sit up, and I remember like blood was just gushing out of my head. And I remember security coming to me and was like, "Besides your head, is there anything wrong?" And like wrong, and I said my shoulder. Like instantly, it was like my shoulder. He touched my shoulder. And I just remember him saying, "He was like, oh shit," and like I'm like in my head, I'm like, it might just be a dislocation. I'm like, I'm not expecting nothing worse. And I remember everybody. Yeah, I remember all the security. They're like, they're gathered around me, and I'm like asking them, can they move me from, you know, what I mean, I'm like literally in the middle of the mall, and they're like, no, we can't touch you, whatever. So the stretcher comes, they put me on the stretcher, and I'm like, so they're taking me to like to the ER, and like they're trying to rush me there because I didn't understand, like my head was just that split open. I'm like, okay, and they get me there, and like I'm like contemplating, like, should I call my mom, like, or should I call my grandma, like, should I call, like, you know what I mean? But I know if I do, you know what I mean, there's nothing they can do because this is like the top of 2021, so this is like the top of, like, we're still in COVID, so they can't even, nobody can't even come inside the hospital. So once I figured I was gonna be okay, I was like, okay, I can go ahead and call my grandma and let them know, like, what then happened. Then doctor comes in and was like, we have to perform shoulder surgery on you. You know what I mean? You ripped up, you know, tore up your shoulder. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, are you serious? Wow. And the whole time just going through that mental battle of like, I don't even know who this guy was. If you were to put him on a mic right now, I couldn't even tell you what he sounds like. Wow. So going through the surgeries and getting my face stitched back up and stuff like that, then now we're dealing with the whole legal process of it, because I'm like, okay, like anybody would do, I'm suing them all. I'm suing the security company. I'm suing everybody. But you still got to go through the criminal side of it. Right. Since you want to go, if you want to go that route, you still got to go through the criminal side. And I have learned that California has a program called the Mental Diversion Program. So meaning if they deem you mentally ill, they put you on a 2-year treatment plan, and the whole case gets dismissed. Meaning like nothing happened. Like
so
nothing.
He did all of this to you, and
nothing happened. Nah, they flew him back to like right now he's back in New York. You know, they flew him back to New York, and the judge told me verbatim. He said, if you want things to change, then maybe you should vote. Which I knew what he meant, but at the same time, there's a time and a place to say that.
Yeah.
Like I get it, like vote on the laws, whatever. Yeah. I get it, but there's a time and a place. And as he said that like directly after like I was advised, because I didn't want to do a victim impactment, say whatever that statement's called. I didn't want to do one, but my lawyers were, you know, it was like, well, you know, you have the law, so this is, you know, I mean, this is all part of it. I'm like, okay. Because even my then girlfriend was like, she was sitting there with me, and she was like, you know, I mean, trying to be that support system. And I gave the speech, and it was almost like, why did I just do that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, y'all just wasted my whole time.
It's just like a slap in the face.
Right. It was like, why did I just do that? And he's like, dude's just like literally sitting there, and he's like sitting there, not saying a word, like.
Do you feel like he showed any like remorse?
Well, I couldn't see him. They had him on the other side, so it was like he didn't speak at all. So, you know, so going through that, it was just almost like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And
just out of like nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I was only in that mall for I believe 5 minutes, and yeah, in this next film, I touch on all of it. You know what I mean? Of what it did to me emotionally, physically, even as, you know what I mean, even as a man, like it just like demasculated me for a while. Like, like what do I do from here? Yeah. It's almost like somebody tore down your armor. It's like, what do I do? Like, where do I go from here?
That's a tough situation to be in, because, you know, especially as a man, you want your revenge.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for sure,
in a major way, and it's nothing really you could do. You know?
And I remember like just not sleeping.
Right.
I didn't sleep for a while, and I remember like the day after surgery, I was in so much excruciating pain that I actually was like telling God, if you're gonna take me, just go ahead and do it now. Because I was in that much pain where I just couldn't take it.
Yeah. So you went through a very traumatizing story.
Right.
What can you tell people if they're going on a similar journey to you? Like, how can you get out of that? You know, how are you able to get out?
I'm still actually still battling it every day. And the only thing I can say is like whatever you feel like you need to do, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, do it. If you feel like you need to go talk to 100 people, go talk to 100 people. If you feel like you need to go for a walk by yourself, go do that. Whatever you feel like, because you have to live with you. You know what I mean? Nobody else can't sleep for you, you know what I mean? Because you're going to go home tonight and you're going to sleep in your own bed. And that other person's going to go, or me, go home and I'm going to have to sleep in my own bed and ain't nobody
Yeah.
going to be there. So you have to do whatever it is that you feel is right for you. You know what I mean? And that's in any situation. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I always feel like whatever helps you sleep at night, do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But be mindful of your actions because you just might hurt somebody through the process. So try not to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely, got to show some love and do it with the right intentions in life.
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
For sure.
And what would you say, like in the next 5 years? Where would your career be? Where do you see yourself?
Um, it's crazy because the last 5 years, the last 5 years, it seemed like it skyrocketed. So I'm kind of curious, and it seemed like now that I'm dipping into a whole nother field from start off as being a photographer.
Yeah.
Now I just jumped into the film world without any experience. I never written before. I never
Yeah.
acted before. I never did anything. I just see myself really just trying to help others through their struggle and through their depression. To be honest with you, like it's not easy,
Yeah.
and it's a tough road, and some people are scared to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? Some people think vulnerable is a weakness,
Yeah.
and I'm want to be an advocate, and I'm letting people know that vulnerability is actually a strength. You know, so
Yeah. So it is, long road, tough road. What do you feel like you need to elevate your next step of your career? Agent, manager, new clients.
um, I'll probably like an agent. I'll say that. I'll say that agent, and just a lot of healing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of healing, a lot of healing, because that it starts there. If you can't, if you can't operate within yourself, you can't do anything. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If that brain is not clicking, you know what I mean? It's tough.
What's like you mentioned, obviously going through an experience like that is just mind traumatizing to anybody
Right.
that would go through it. What are some ways, that have helped you to heal within yourself? What have you done to overcome besides the art, what are some ways that other people can, overcome that darkness that they experience?
It's kind of crazy because I have to get a little, just a tad bit deeper. I didn't understand because when it first happened, you know what I mean. As you probably know, you're a guy, so especially being a black dude, we crack, our friends crack jokes.
Yeah.
So when it first happened, I actually tried to get on top of the joke before everybody else could.
Right.
I actually tried to mask it with, yeah, I got my ass whooped, and you know what I mean. I think I even put up the meme of you guys, sir, when Steve Harvey was like, "I got your asses whooped here today," and I tried to do that. So I continued to do that until I met a certain person that came into my life, and I could no longer mask it. Where now I have to face it because I can't run from this person. This person's here every day, so I'm no longer able to mask it. So it showed me I didn't understand how much pain I was actually suffering from it until this person got in my face, and I wasn't able to, like, I don't want to talk to you today, or you know what I mean. I couldn't shut it out, so I had to face it, and it just, you know what I mean, it's just a constant roller coaster, and I'm still, like, to this day, like, still trying to like overcome it. Like, I think I still have a lot of work to do, but I do feel like I'm a lot further than I was.
Yeah.
And that person, she helped me out a great deal in that, but it also set me back a little bit. But it's still, and I think I honestly forgot what you asked me, but I hope I was able to touch on it.
You're doing a lot for the world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're telling a story that's authentic
Right.
and it's from your heart, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that you went through. So, there's a lot of people out there that can feel what you're gonna put out for the world. that's gonna understand where you're coming from. A lot of people that's battling depression, that's not feeling like, how they want to feel, right? And they're trying to figure out ways to overcome it. But you're somebody that's in a position to be able to say, "Oh, hey, I went through this. Hey, you can get through it too." You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying? Where can we follow you? Where can we watch your films at?
Everything's gonna be on YouTube under Tommy Boy Freeze 'em, just like my Instagram, just Tommy Boy Freeze 'em. Everything's gonna be under there. Yeah, so I'm just like, some people say film festivals. I'm just like, nah, I just need to put it out.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, make sure y'all go tap in on the YouTube, follow him on Instagram. This was another episode of BoomBox Weekly. I am Gentel Sharrie.
I'm Omar Cook.
And I'm Tommy Boy. Thank you.
Hey, that's BoomBox. Let's go.
Hey.
Thank you.